think we're here. And it's Wendy Alane Wright. And it's New Year's Eve. In fact, I think it's New Year's in many places around the world already. In Australia, it's already 2023. So I just wanted to spend some time with you guys on New Year's Eve because I love you and I want to encourage you in many different ways. So that's why I popped in tonight. So hello to all of you. It's been a long year. It's been a long year. We've had a long couple of years, right? And I want you to think about what's going to be coming up for you in 2023. I noticed all these wonderful close up, I can't think of the word, for 2022. Everybody's kind of like rounding up the year. What is the word I'm looking for? But kind of summarizing everything that's been going on for 2022. Now listen, some of you may get discouraged. You see other people with all these auditions and all these big numbers, and don't compare yourself to other people. Okay, that can sometimes seem intimidating, and we were worried and wondering if we should even allow that because we don't want new people to feel like, oh my God, I didn't get 5,000 auditions. But there will be a time when you do have a lot of auditions, and there will be also times when the people that have all those auditions will have slow times, and they won't have all those auditions, because if you know anything about this business, you know that it's a roller coaster. It goes up and down. Some days, you know, you have a feeling like, why am I even doing this? Honestly, I haven't had an audition in 6 months. Why am I even doing this? And other times you'll have so many auditions you can't keep up with it. And you'll be like, oh my God, how am I supposed to deliver 10 pages on that audition, 2 on that, and 4 on that, and 3 on that, and they're all due by tomorrow at 3? It's crazy. Why am I even doing this, right? It's really important just in theory, as a principle in your life. Don't beat yourself up for when things are going well and then you feel you don't deserve it, or when things aren't going well enough and then you think, what's wrong with you? Human beings are crazy. They're crazy. We never seem to be satisfied in the moment that we're in, right? Always wanting something else, something more, somewhere else. If I could have more money, if I could have a bigger house, if I could drive a better car, if I could be on a TV show, not just a series regular, but like 5 seasons, if I could, we always want more, 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 more. Never just being grateful for what you have right now. Like right now. Jim Carrey, I think he's really been the one that said this, and it's stuck in my brain, as many of you it probably has. He goes, I hope everybody gets everything they've ever wanted so they can realize that that's not what it is. That's not what it's about. That's not like having all the money in the world. It's great to have money. Trust me, I love having money, and I would rather be rich than poor. Okay. There's a saying that says, you can't help the poor by being one of them. Okay, it doesn't help anyone. If you're poor, you're really going to have a hard time helping other people. So in terms of financial, the more money you have, if you're a good person, and the more you give, the more you can help people. So having money is a great thing. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with aspiring to that. There are some people that want to get rich in this business, and there are some people that do, right? You also may want to be famous. So what? And there's nothing wrong with that. There are people that want to live in that world where you have the spotlight on you and you're famous. And sometimes you hear some very successful actors saying, I just want to be famous. So being famous is a goal, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to have that goal, there's nothing wrong with that. Some people want to act just because they love to tell stories, and maybe they want to be famous, and maybe they want to make money, whatever. Or you just want to work. I just want to make enough money acting to pay the bills. Whatever your level of goals are, they're all good. They're all okay. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't compare your goals to other people's goals. Don't compare your successes to other people's successes and then put yourself down if you don't feel like you've met what other people are doing. Don't compare your losses and the things that are not going your way. Don't make that mean that's the definition of who you are. Oh, I must be a loser. I didn't this. I don't have this. This country especially is built on making you feel less than if you don't have this, right? So try to resist all that. Honestly, people, the place of joy is within. That's ultimately what Jim Carrey's talking about. It's like none of this out here matters. What matters is your connection within to loving yourself and to source, that which is higher than you and a part of you, your highest part of you and beyond. That alignment, that connection is the only thing that will provide you real joy and real peace and a sense of feeling good about who you are. You can feel like, I think every human being is born with kind of like a hole inside them. I'm not good enough. I don't know if I'm lovable. I'm not sure if I'm worthy. I don't know if I'm valuable. Maybe I'm not enough, blah, blah, blah. There's like a hole, right? In my AA program, they call it a God-sized hole, meaning only God can fill it. And I know that we live in a culture which is all about advertising. No, this necklace will fill it. This bracelet, this truck, this sports equipment, this bigger TV, all these things are going to fill it. No, once you have those things, you are like, okay, that felt good for a second, but what else? How can I fill it? You can't fill it by the things you get from outside of you, because you can't put any of those things inside you. So nothing outside you will ever fill it. It's important to learn this. It's really important to hear what I'm saying. This is very important. None of the things outside of you are ever going to fill inside of you, because none of those things can go inside you. You can't put a truck in there, a TV in there, better sports equipment. Nothing goes in. So how do you align with yourself and feel good inside you? Well, that's the work of evolving. That's a never-ending process of constantly coming back to self and source, constantly coming back. And what might happen when you see all these recaps? I think that was the word I was looking for before. Recaps. Everybody's recapping. You'll compare yourself to them. You might feel less than, wish you had what they have. Stop. Everybody wants something more than they have. I saw this really cool cartoon once. It showed a person walking. No. Wait. It showed a person with no legs, like crawling along the floor. Then it showed a person walking, and the person without the legs was looking at the person with the legs going, I wish I had legs. The person with the legs was walking, but they saw somebody riding by with a bike, and they were like, oh, I wish I had a bike. And the person with the bike was riding along and saw someone go by in a car. They're like, oh, I wish I had a car. Then the person in the car, just a regular car, saw somebody go by in a Rolls Royce. And they're like, oh, Rolls Royce, everything would be so much better, right? And the person in the Rolls Royce saw somebody go by in a plane. Oh, if I had a private plane. You're never satisfied with where you are. It's the human condition. The good thing about that is that's what keeps us striving to become more, to keep growing. Oh, I'm going to stay and sit a minute. If we, HOT kids, if we were satisfied with who we are, we would never keep growing, right? It's that we see things and we want to be more, to become more, to have more, to do more. That's fine as long as you're not beating yourself up over it in the process of becoming. My podcast this week, I was talking about our superpower. Our superpower is that we can change and grow. That is literally our superpower, that we have the ability to grow. Why do I say that? Because dolphins don't have the ability to grow into something more than they are. They're just what they are, right? Your dog is just what it is. Any animal or flower or plant is pretty much what it is, right? I mean, it might get taller or bigger, but it can't make conscious decisions about who it's going to become. But humans can do that. That's what's amazing about us. And I think when they say created in the image of God, those of you who know me know that I'm not religious. I'm very spiritual, right? And I do believe there's a higher power. There's something greater than us. I certainly didn't make the universe, so something else is at play. It's not me, and I don't know what it is, but something else. And when I think in the image of that, I think of it as something creative, because there's something creating something. Things don't get created by nothing. You know, a painting doesn't just arrive. Someone had to create it. Food is created. Things are created. So I'm assuming that there's a creative governing the universe, something creative. And we're kind of made in that image, right? We can create ourselves. We can create who we want to be. We can literally say, you know what? I think I want to be a bodybuilder. I'm going to morph into that. I'm going to become that. I think I'm going to become an expert pianist, and I'm going to speak 4 languages. I'm going to add to myself. We have like an addition button, a plus sign. We can keep adding and adding and adding. I'm going to become an expert bowler. I'm going to become a tennis player. I'm going to become somebody who does jujitsu, taekwondo, karate. I'm going to learn all of these things. I'm going to become a scientist, a mathematician. Like, we have the ability to create who we want to be. Isn't that freaking phenomenal? Freaking phenomenal, because I'm not trying to use the F word anymore, because I'm creating myself into someone who doesn't swear as much. Hopefully, maybe one day not at all. A conscious decision, and that's what makes us different as a species. We have a conscious decision to decide who we are and who we want to become. Now, when I was married to one of my husbands, I've had no problem getting married. I've been married a couple times. This is when I knew I wasn't going to stay married to him. We were having conversations about stuff that wasn't working, and he said to me, I don't make myself. And I went, yeah, you do. You actually, utterly, absolutely do make yourself. And the fact that you don't know that is going to be a problem for us, because I'm all about growing to the next best version of myself, day after day, month after month, year after year. And if you don't make yourself, you aren't going to be growing. And honestly, it's been 20 years since he and I are divorced, and he's still the same. Still the same. We're still friends. I still talk to him, and he's not changed at all. In 20 years since we've been divorced, he's still the same. Why? He doesn't make himself. Okay. Then who does? Why do I say this? Because you have a whole year ahead of you to be whatever you want to be. Whatever you want to be. You get to choose and decide who that's going to be. I get to choose. You get to choose. We don't just deal with life, what life throws at us, when we're conscious. When we're conscious, we make conscious decisions about who we want to be, and then we take action to become those things. And the universe will throw some things at you that are unexpected. That's going to happen. So, let's not sit around waiting for that. That's going to happen anyway. But what we can control, and it's important to know what you can control and what you cannot control. Okay? You cannot control a hurricane, a tornado, a volcano, an earthquake, the rain, the weather. You can't control other people. You can't control companies. You can't control politics. I mean, there's just so many things out of our control. Advertising and global warming. They're like that. Probably we could have taken control of that years ago, but we didn't. There's so many things out of your immediate control. Like, you can't snap your fingers and there's no global warming. I snap my fingers, there's no war. Snap my fingers, there's no this, there's no that. There's no such thing. All we can do is chip away at the things we want to change, but we have the most control over ourselves, right? Which means you can be anything you want in 2023. You can't control what other people do or say, but you can control what you do or say. And when you decide consciously, this is what I want to achieve next year. First of all, we got to make some of those realistic achievements. So let's sit down. I'll take myself, for example, because I'm, here by myself talking to you. So I can only talk about what I'm talking about. If I look at 2023, now you guys have been watching me for 5 years now. Okay. I've shown up in this group for 5 years, giving you as much guidance and help and support as I can, putting together a team of amazing teachers and coaches to give you a place where you can learn and grow and become a working actor or follow whatever dream you have in life. Because ultimately, that's really all I want for you, is to follow your dreams and be happy with that. All right. We've brought in great moderators to give you guidance and advice so that there's a free place to come 24/7, 365, so that you always have a family, TMFA family, to support you, your goals, your dreams, give you good information, legit, truthful, right information. You need that in your life, something to ground you and steer you in the right direction. So you've got that, right? You've seen me build this group as we go along. I don't have any plans for how to do this. I'm learning as I go. I'm not perfect. You see, I've made mistakes over the first few years. I used to get mad at everybody. When people didn't do things the way I thought they should, I'd be like, what the f is wrong with you? Yeah. I've calmed down. I've grown. I consciously chose to grow. And those who know me know, and those I've told, I had 2 therapists twice a week for an entire year, 52 weeks. That's 108 sessions, right? No, 104. Wendy can't add. 104. Because that's what it took for me to stop certain behaviors and to dig deep and face who I am and to make different choices. There's nothing wrong with taking an honest look at your life and say, okay, I do not like this about me. I don't like this or this or this. I'm going to have to do something about that. Now, I like this, this, and this is called taking an inventory of your life. And I highly suggest you do that, because we are going into a new year, and there's no point going into it blindly, because we have the power to make rational decisions and change who we are and adapt and become more than we are right now. What human superpowers? Everybody wants to fly and have all these superpowers, but literally you have superpowers. You get to choose and become something new if you want to. What superpowers? You all need to wear an S. Everybody is an S. Okay. So everything I've been doing has been all, figuring out as I go along. Okay. How do you do a YouTube channel? I don't know. I know now, but I didn't know when I started. Okay. I figured it out as I went along, but I didn't just figure it out by myself. I went down the rabbit hole of YouTube videos and learning about how to create a YouTube channel. What do I have to do to add to this? I don't know. Like, I just started telling you what you need to do as an actor, put the videos up, there you go. But let's make it better. Well, let's add more content. Well, let's do this, let's do that. I grew as I went along, as you are all growing as you go along. Why would I beat myself up over things I don't know? You idiot, you don't know how to do that. How would I know, right? No point beating yourself up over things you don't know. Okay, don't beat yourself up. It's a waste of energy. When I created this space, I made some mistakes. I looked at my life. I looked at how I was being. I looked at how I was behaving. And I said, I don't want to be that. That's not really in alignment with who I am. That's not really connected to my higher self. That's not really the Wendy I want to present to the world or myself. That's not authentically, genuinely who I am or choose to be. So I'm going to remove some of those defects of character, because I don't want to be that way anymore. And that's what you have the ability to do. Not beat yourself up over having defects, because we all have them, but to honestly improve yourself so that you're better next year. So if you take a look at what in your life needs improving. Okay, well, we already know that I need to lose 100 pounds, okay? Save your comments. The fat girl will continue writing. Thank God, my husband always used to say, it falls into all the right places. Big ass, big boobs, great shape, lovely. I still need to lose it. I have an advanced course I'm working on for actors. So that means in 2023, I want the advanced course. For the people that took HWC, the first course, now I want the advanced course. Because now a lot of them are working, they have agents, they have managers, they're booking TV and film. What's next? Because there's a way, you got to get to that part, then you got to get to the next level and the next level. So we're working on the advanced course. So that's what I'm planning in 2023. I'm going to be reading so much about courses and marketing and sales and branding and promotion and social media. There's so much I'm always learning so I can share it with you guys. I'm not done growing. Either are you, right? The advanced course. Okay, now Alex Collins and I are going to work on a course next year, and we're very, very excited about it. It's a financial course because we've realized that so many people come into like the world. And I mean, after your high school and you graduate with no concept about money, afraid to talk about it. You have feelings about it. You don't know anything about it. You don't know how to make it, how to save it, how to invest it, how to increase it. And a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck. Not necessary. There's a lot of other ways. And also, Alex did a workshop this weekend, and he uncovered that a lot of people don't know anything about taxes and what actors can write off, if you can write off. And there's just so much that we want to teach you guys about how to become financially sound and feel more comfortable and more safe in that environment, in that regard, so that you feel less pressure financially and you have more freedom. So we're creating a course together. Alex is a genius in that regard, and I have a tremendous amount of experience with learning how to do business, create a business, become financially successful, invest it, and create a living that's outstanding by doing what I really love and what I'm really, really good at. So together we're going to create a beautiful course. Hollywood Winner Circle is going to put it out, and Alex and I are going to teach it. And I'm so thrilled and honored that he's going to do that with me and that I'm going to do that with him. You know, he's a blessing. So we got the weight we got to work on. We got the advanced course, the Alex Collins financial course. We're working on putting together a TMFA summit, like a convention, in May 20 and 21. Meaning anyone who's in the TMFA can come to this event we're going to do in Los Angeles on May 20 and 21. There's going to be agents and managers there, casting directors, all kinds of panels. It's not going to be very expensive. I think it's going to be like $300 for the 2 days. And you're going to be able to meet agents and managers and talk with people and meet each other and meet the moderators here. And we're going to have such a fun event. So much fun. I can't wait to meet so many people in person. I can't wait to be in the room with all those incredible people. And I know it's going to be an amazing experience for you guys. So put it on your calendar, May 20 and 21. That's Saturday and Sunday. We're finding a hotel ballroom and conference room. We don't know where yet to put it on, but it's going to be mind-blowing. You're going to meet so many of the people that are in the business. Casting directors, producers, writers, agents, managers, and I'm excited. We're going to have a great time. And then after that, I plan on doing a whole bunch of traveling in and out of there. So I have my plans. Oh, and my number one goal is always to teach 10,000 actors how the business works. That's my goal, right? So I want you to sit down and write what your goals are, because once you write those goals, you have to figure out, okay, what do I not know that I'm going to need to learn in order to fulfill that goal? So the TMFA Summit in 2023, May 20 and 21, I've done a lot of putting on a lot of events for my Kiwanis Club. I've done a lot of events in other areas, all my speaking engagements and events, but now we're going to put on a big conference. So I have to figure out, okay, what don't I know? I got to make a list of everything I do know. I got to research other conventions, and I got to figure out what other people know. My friend Sean Perez is advising me with this, and he's given me a list of things he's done in preparing events. So I'm going to master this, and by the time I do it one time, I'm going to be able to bang it out next year, the next year, the next year, and the next year, right? But we're all going to have a learning curve. You're going to have learning curves in 2023. You should spend zero time beating yourself up for things you don't know, and just spend the time learning them. Okay? Just spend the time learning them and growing. Pat yourself on the back for thinking, learning, and growing. I also want to learn to play the piano and speak a little bit of Chinese. That's on my radar for 2023. I want to keep becoming kinder. I want to keep the swear words out of my mouth. And just keep, I don't know, helping other people. That's it. That's my 2023. That's my plan for the year. What is your plan for the year? Some of you might be like, I want to write a book. I want to write a screenplay. I want to get a movie made. I want to sell my movie idea to a major network or a streaming service. I want to pitch my TV show to a network. I want to create a web series. I want to get an agent or a manager. I want to book some network television. I want to book commercials. I want to start making more money in the acting business. All of those goals are fantastic, and no reason you can't achieve any of them. There's no reason you can't achieve those. Everything that you want to achieve in your life that you haven't done yet, you can do it. You're just starting from scratch on those things. They don't exist. You make a decision to make it exist. You do what it takes, and then it exists. It's that simple. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink that. That's literally how life works. You have that power to create. It's who you are. It's what you're made of. And if you've got ideas, listen, if you've got visions and ideas, they're meant to be, or you wouldn't have them. You don't hear my list being about, I want to discover a new technique for drilling oil in the Mediterranean. And I would like to learn about the civilizations of ancient Mayans. I don't give a schlap. Well, I'm going to be coming up with all kinds of words that require me not to swear. A schlap. I don't give a schlap. I do not care about the ancient civilizations of the Mayans. It's not on my to-do list because I'm not shaped to do that. I say that because whatever's on your list that you hear in your head and your heart and your instinct, that's meant to happen. That's why you came up with the list. That's what's inside you. That's your contribution. That's your gifts. It's in alignment with who you are, what your skills are, what you're meant for, and what your purpose is. You got it? Otherwise, you'd have a completely different list. The list in front of you is what's in alignment with who you are, and you have everything you need to be that person to do those things. And yes, you're going to have to learn some new skills. You might have to get over some things that scare you. You might have to get past your fear of people or your fear of failure, whatever. Get into therapy, friends. Therapy doesn't hurt. Therapy doesn't hurt, kids. There are a lot of people who take therapy, whatever, however, to help you move beyond your limitations, your perceived limitations. They're not even real. Okay, they're not even real. Rick Warren is, I think he's the minister that spoke at Obama's inauguration, but I read Rick Warren's book years ago called The Purpose-Driven Life. In the Purpose-Driven Life, Rick Warren is a Christian minister. He's here. Actually, I live down the street from him now. His church is literally down the street, which, interestingly enough, I used to say, God, I wish I lived closer to his church so I could go there. Now I live here and I haven't gone yet. Ding, 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 going to my list, going to Rick Warren's church. I will go on Sunday. Good God, I forgot I even manifested that without even thinking. I used to think, I wish I lived near him. I swear to God, I wish I lived near that church. I wish I lived near that church so I could go to that church. That place feels like that could be my spiritual home. I've been here 2 years down the street. I haven't gone. I forgot that I intended that into my space. So I will be going. But he said, you are shaped for certain things. The reason you're in love with math is you're shaped for that. The reason you're in love with sports, you're shaped for that. I'm not shaped for math. I hate it. I don't want to do it. I honestly got F's in math all the way through school. I didn't even get past algebra. I don't even know what algebra is. Okay? I don't care and I don't like it. I don't like math. I'm not shaped for that. There are other people who are shaped for certain things. They are in love with certain things. They think about it all the time. They love to read about those things. They like to do those things because they're shaped for that. Right? So trust that you have been created with certain goals, with certain things, with certain ideas that you are shaped to do. Meaning you're meant to do those things. And when you do them, the universe will help you accomplish those. As Oprah says, when you walk in the direction of your purpose, the universe conspires to help you. Isn't that amazing? So when you're walking in the direction of your purpose, your life's purpose, the universe conspires to help you. I want to tell you about another book I found years ago. It was called The Purpose of Your Life by Dan Millman. Dan Millman. You guys write it down. Dan Millman. It's all about numbers. Now, I'm not a numerologist. I don't know anything about it. But I do know there's this much about it that I do understand that has been accurate, spot on for me. So you're supposed to take your birthday numbers and add all those numbers together in a certain way, and then those numbers are your number. So I'm a 3410. You say, what the hell is that? I don't know, other than what it says in the book. So let's go. I'll show you how to do it, okay? It's interesting. I was born September 0, and you write a plus in between all the numbers. 0 plus 9 plus 6. I didn't even need the 0. Plus 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 6. So my birthday is 9/6/1966. So you write all those numbers down and you write a little plus sign in between them and you add them together. So 9 and 6 is, what is that, 15? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 37. Oh, I'm a 3710, I forgot. 37. So adding my birth numbers together comes up with 37. Then you add those two numbers together, which makes the second number, 3710. Now, for those of you who are listening who want to do this, write your birthday out, month, date, year, and then put a little plus sign in between each number, then add those numbers together. That's your first number. Whatever that number is, then add those two numbers together, and that's your second number, okay? So 9/6/1966, I got a plus sign in between each one. That comes to 37. The 3 plus the 7 is 10. That's my numerology number. I hardly know anything about this except when you take that number and you type it into the Google, numerology 3710, it tells you a whole bunch of stuff about you. And you want to know something? It's accurate. I don't know how it works and I don't really care. All I know is whenever I'm talking to somebody, a friend, my mom, my dad, my ex-husbands, I do that number. I add their birthday, I get that final number, I go into the Google and I read about them. My stepdaughter, anybody, always accurate. Mine is creativity and confidence. Always developing the confidence to be creative, the confidence to take my creativity to the next level, the next level, and the next level. And it says when you're working on that consistently and consciously, you can do great things. And when you don't work on that, there's a downside to who you are if you're not working your life's purpose. So my mom's is trust and openness. Oh my God, that couldn't be more right. And my stepdaughter was stability and process. And believe me, that's what she struggles with, the process of working through things. I don't have that problem. I can work through anything. I don't have a problem with trust and openness. I'm very open. So you'll be surprised that it's got like several categories, and you're going to find that your numbers fall right in line with who you really are. Mind-blowing. And if you want to learn a little bit about yourself, go do that. That's really fun. Another thing I want to talk about is staying in the right mindset. It's very important that you take charge of who you have around you. And don't let negative people in your space. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Because they suck time out of your life and they suck away from your energy and they're just not useful. They're not adding to your life. They're not helping you in any way. You know, they're not giving back to you. They're just like emotional vampires. You heard that saying before? Emotional vampires. Some people are emotional vampires. Okay, they have no interest in your best interest. They're like, here's an example. Yesterday, oh my God, what a waste of my time I spent. One of the actors here made a post and listed all their numbers for the year, but there were a lot of things in his post I didn't want to be public. I didn't want the whole gist of the post broadcast, because when actors are new, they don't understand a lot of things, and they'll misinterpret something from someone who's way ahead. So sometimes we will not let all of a post through and just take out the pieces that you need to hear. For example, when people talk incessantly about living in the non-union world and doing non-union work, and I made my whole career in non-union, blah, 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 blah. What you don't understand is when you do non-union commercials, it teaches major corporations that they can hire non-union actors and pay them a fraction of what they would pay union members. So there was a time when SAG-AFTRA commercials, or it was called SAG commercials long ago, you could book one commercial and make $100,000. 2-3 commercials make a couple $100,000 in a year for a national commercial. Actors, that was their bread and butter. While you're working to get those co-stars and guest stars, you could live off your income in commercials. And it was like that for a very, very, very long time. If you booked a McDonald's National or Pepsi or Coca-Cola or AT&T, you could get really wealthy. Somewhere along the line, companies started hiring non-union actors. It's a fraction of what we have to pay these actors. They'll do it in perpetuity because they're so desperate for work. We could pay them $1,000 where we would normally pay them $100,000. Why would we pay this actor $100,000 when we can get it for $1,000? And for a long time, you couldn't find as good actors in the non-union pool. They didn't have enough experience. They didn't have enough training. They're so new. You had to go to those SAG actors to get that experience, that professionalism, and they were paid the big bucks. Well, now people stay in the union, non-union area a bit longer. They do get experience. They do get trained. They do get really good. And so they might hover in the non-union area for quite some time. Now, the danger with that is not just small companies are going to the non-union pool now, big companies, Pepsi, Disney, like companies that should not do that. They can afford to pay SAG actors, but they're greedy and they're jealous. They're not jealous, capitalistic, greedy, capitalistic people who are like, screw actors. Let's cut costs and pay the talent less. Why would you pay the talent less? You want the talent for your commercial and you want to screw them on the money? That's just not fair. So what that did was it took away a living for hundreds of thousands of actors. And now there are people who are stuck in the non-union world being like, my God, I make all this money in the non-union. Yeah, you're going to do 47 commercials to make the same amount one commercial used to make. So when someone comes into TMFA and starts bragging about the non-union commercial business, we want to encourage you, if you're non-union, to do those commercials. But don't live there because it harms the union. It harms the union. It harms actors. It harms all actors. And sometimes it's hard to turn down a $1,000 job when you don't have anything. They say, well, it's going to be in perpetuity. We'll give you an extra $1,000. Okay, $2,000. I'll take that. You took that. At the end of the day, your agent gets 10%, your commercial agent gets 20, your manager gets 10, your commercial agent gets 20, the government gets however much, and you're left with half. So a $2,000 job just became $1,000. And you just told that corporation that they can hire non-union actors for a fraction of the cost, which harms every other actor in the business. So when I see a post that's bragging and bragging and bragging about the non-union world, I don't want to share all of that. I don't. I will limit some of that sharing. I will cut out the pieces of that post and post what I think is healthiest for actors. And that's my right, because this is my flippin' group. And if I want to do what's best for actors as a whole, that's what I'm going to do. So this person got mad at me for not attaching his name to the post. I said, I don't need to attach your name to the post. It's an anonymous post. I'm using some of your numbers to get the gist, but I don't want your name attached to this endless conversation about non-union stuff. Because for one, you should be in the union by now, and you should be booking network television. I've got actors I'm working with who've already joined the union and are already booking network television. They're getting bigger opportunities. Some of them are series regulars. We don't have to dilly-dally in the non-union world forever, okay? If you want to be a professional actor at some point, you got to go union. So, that being said, he was mad. He was, oh, you're just using me. I'm like, what on earth? It's not even about you. I'm not even thinking about you, honestly. This is not about you at all. This is about 100,000 other people here that I want to protect, educate, and help. Well, you're just using, I said, no, you're just a narcissist if you think everything is about you, because it's not. Anyway, he sucked time out of my day where I could have been helping other people. And the only reason I had those conversations with him is because I like him. And I have thought fondly of him over the years. But what I've noticed year after year is this incessant bragging about himself, talking about his money, talking about his... Like I tell all actors, shut up, put your head down, and do the work. The non-union world is very different than the union world, okay? When you start getting into the running for network television auditions, you're going to be up against the greatest, the best of the best. And your little non-union skills are not going to be enough to book those network credits. You got to get humble. I mean, the ego on this guy, the ego. Listen, I want this actor to be so successful. I want him to become a series regular and really just like go all the way. That is my deepest intention. But I'm afraid that the ego is so out of whack that that's going to interfere with the process of what he could become, because people can be their own worst enemy. This actor booked 20 national commercials in 1 year and then dropped his agent. I was like, are you flipping kidding me? Who does that? Which is another thing I want to remind you. Be loyal. Be loyal to your agents and managers. You don't need to... It's not like island hopping, agent hopping. Here. Your career takes time to build. Give your reps time to do the work. And in the time when they're working on getting you out there and getting casting to see you, your job is to get a better package, get more training, get more clips, put special skills clips on your Actors Access, learn a new language, grow as a person, grow in your craft, grow in your mindset, create your goals, overcome your fears. The agent's doing their job, you're doing yours. And together it's a beautiful partnership. There are some reps and some actors that spend almost their whole careers together. There's no point jumping around, jumping, and then blaming the agent. Because most of the time when I look at packages, it's the actor's fault. Literally, I swear to God. They just don't know what they need to do. But I was really, I'm really rooting for this actor, but holy shit, holy cow, he makes it difficult. I want you to think about this business as a privilege. As a privilege. Because there are people all around the world that do not have the luxury of going out there and turning in self-tapes. They're trying to eat. They don't have any food, so they don't have any energy. Okay? They don't have a place to live. There are some people that are refugees from the Ukraine right now who are living in camps planning their acting career. They're trying to survive. It's important to get humble about the very fact that you have the luxury to pursue an acting career. It's not a given. It's an opportunity that you are blessed with simply by sheer luck of being born in this country if you're American. But if you're born in other countries where it's war-torn or women don't have rights, women don't have sexual rights, work rights, marriage rights, they don't have a right to speak. There are some countries where people don't have the right to an opinion. They don't have the right to free press, to communicate. Some countries shut down communication so that their people can't learn anything. You are in a very luxurious position if you have the ability to, I'm going to acting classes, I'm getting my headshots, and I was on set doing this work and that, and I'm just planning on shooting my new headshots, and this is a luxury. If you get selected out of 5,000 people to book a job, you better get on your knees and thank God, Allah, or whoever else you thank for the opportunity and be grateful for it, because you got very, very lucky. Your skills may have helped you get it, but luck was all over that, because there were 4,999 people in there that could have got it. So I really want to encourage you to have an attitude of gratitude. There's a sickness that occurs in people when they don't stay humble. An entitlement. Feeling that you know, like the world owes you. The world doesn't owe you nothing. Okay? You need to be grateful. And I want 2023 to be the year of gratitude. Like, get conscious about who you are and what you want to become, about where you want to go. And while you're working on that, notice all the other people that are involved with helping you get there. Barbara Cochran said, I love Barbara Cochran. She's a shark, you know. Don't you know? Barbara Cochran is a very, very wealthy businesswoman who I've read all her art, you know, Mark Cuban and hers and Barbara's and all of that. I love sharks. I love learning what people who are successful think, what their habits are, what they do. I like to learn that. One of the things Barbara said was, you get rich not by what your hands can do, but what the hands of many can do. If Steve Jobs invented his computer in his garage and it was just him, it wouldn't be Microsoft or Apple. Hope I have the right one. It wouldn't have become Apple. Apple becomes because of all the other people they've hired to build that brand, to run those companies, the finances, the marketing, the sales, the bookkeeping, the hiring, the human resources, the insurances. It's a team that builds your success. You are not an island. You know, sometimes people say, I'm self-made. Really? No, you're not. Your business, you have a trucking company, you're self-made. It drives on roads that other people built. If you sell products, other people made those products and shipped them. It actually got made by other people, shipped by someone on a plane, on a train, on a boat, on a truck. It took a lot of people to get those products to you so you can sell them, right? No one is self-made. We are a part of a community in this world of all kinds of people who work together to accomplish great things. Think about what you want to accomplish. Look at your list and think, okay, what's it going to take for me to do that? Because God knows you're not going to do it by yourself, okay? You need other people to teach you skills you don't have. You need other people to submit you to jobs you can't see. You might learn from certain books on how to develop parts of your personality or overcome some of your shortcomings so that you can do better. People influence your life. And if you can realize that, you could just be grateful instead of an arrogant butthead. I don't think that's swear, so I'm allowed to use it. Butthead is my new word instead of the A word. I wanted to spend time with you guys tonight because I want you to be in the presence of someone who cares and who's powerful and is conscious and aware and who will always guide you from the heart, kindly, directly, and powerfully. I need to be around people like that, and so do you. So do we all. In my life, I have certain mentors, okay? Some of them I know personally. Some of them I learned from on books and podcasts and Audible and YouTube videos. I fill my brain with powerful thinking. That's how I keep becoming more than I am. I'm not inventing myself. I'm utilizing the information around me to then invent myself. There's a book here. I want to share it. It's called Atomic Habits. One of these days I'll get affiliate links associated with all the things I recommend. I'll make money on that, but I haven't in 5 years or 10 years on YouTube. So I think I'll set that up in 2023. Write that down on my to-do list. Set up affiliate links. Because I no reason I can't get paid to share my knowledge. It's called valuing yourself. So, Atomic Habits is the concept that your life is created by the habits you create. So imagine if I decided to take a piano lesson every single Monday for the next 52 weeks. Imagine how good at the piano I might be at the end of that time. Imagine now if I don't take any piano lessons. I'm not going to be any better at it. So your habits determine who you become. You have to create new habits. And if you do that habit over and over and over and over and over and over and over, it becomes automatic. And then you don't even think about it anymore. It just becomes a part of who you are. So when you're changing, you have to sit down and think, okay, what habit do I need to add to my life in order to become the person I want to be? What habit? And defining your habits is almost more important than anything else you do. Defining the habits and then sticking to those over and over and over and over until they become automatic is the key to growth. It's the key to success, right? So you've got to read this book, kids. It's life-changing. When you walk, it's automatic at this point, right? I mean, it's hot in here. I'm going to need to go in a minute. I'm HOT. Plus, I'm on the way to Big Lots to go get a fake plant. What are you doing on New Year's Eve? I'm going to Big Lots to get a fake plant. I don't drink. I don't want to be out with a whole lot of crazy loud people. I mean, for some of you who are staying home, it's okay to stay home. There's nothing wrong with being home. Don't be pressured. I personally don't want to be around a lot of people and noise and blah, 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 blah. I don't need it. My last really fun time on New Year's Eve, I was in Malaysia, and oh my God, it was so loud in New Year's Eve. They had like this horn that everyone was blowing, and it was fun and exciting, and it was overwhelming. Auditorily, I had to leave halfway. I mean, it was so loud. But I'm planning on being somewhere really special in the next couple of weeks, so I'll share my adventures. But in the meantime, pick the habits that you want to develop, and then put them on your calendar, people. You got to put your habits on the calendar, and then you got to do them. And it doesn't matter if you feel like doing them or don't feel like doing them. If it says it on the calendar, you do it. That's it. That's how you grow. It says it on the calendar, I'm going to do it. If you guys haven't read, this book over the holidays, go ahead and read it. Go ahead and read it. It's very, very good books. Most of you have heard of it. It's a very good book. Yeah, go ahead and read it. I will leave you with this. Christian LeBlanc is a YouTuber. I love YouTube. I live on Netflix and YouTube, really. Either I'm growing, learning, expanding my brain, learning how to be more than I am, how to become a better version of me so I can be a better version of me for all of you. Or I'm learning from other people how to just have a better life and live a more joyous life. Or I'm empowered by the things that they're doing with their lives, and it encourages me. So Christian LeBlanc has a YouTube channel called Lost LeBlanc. I live in his YouTube videos. I've been in them for about a month. I go down the rabbit hole of Christian LeBlanc videos. And I've watched him go from, hold on, my nose tickles whenever I get excited. I watched him go from a guy who just delivers some video content traveling around to delivering some really beautiful, beautiful images when he travels. And the way he talks about the places he goes, he's just so entertaining. And I just really feel comfortable with him. And I like listening to him. And I like learning about life and travel and cultures and people and places from him. I like spending time in his space. And part of what he did was became a better cinematographer, a better storyteller. He took courses. He learned how to be a better filmmaker. Eventually, he created his own filmmaking course called the Lost Academy. And now he's building, I think he's just done building this incredible hotel out in Bali, where he lives, where people can come, all creatives from around the world can come and create and be inspired. I like watching his journey from where he was to who he's becoming. Now he's investing in property. He's making a lot of money. And to watch people go from start to the next levels is inspiring. You know, I think you get inspired by that too. So I want you to just stay close to the people that inspire you the most. People that inspire you the most are going to help turn that energy that you have inside you up full volume. And that is going to help you accomplish more, be more, and do more. So make a list also of the people that inspire you the most. Get their pictures and put them right on your wall. Look at them and be reminded. 2023 can be a wonderful year for you. And there may be some crap that happens. People die. That sucks. It's never easy. I think losing people is the hardest thing we deal with as human beings. We've lost people this year. We'll lose people next year. If it's the one part of life that's not going to change, we will always be losing people. So how you deal with that, we got to learn to bounce back, get up. We feel the pain, but we keep trying to pour some love into that space, pour more beauty into that pain, find more joy to pour into that place, to fill it back up, And it'll always be a scar. Because when you lose somebody, it's a cut. And when that cut heals, it's always a scar. And sometimes you'll be surprised, and maybe you notice that scars sometimes hurt, even after they're healed. I know I have a scar on my foot that just flares up sometimes, and I'm like, how is that hurting 35 years later? Who knows? You're going to have some challenges in 2023. I mean, it's no smooth sailing. That's not life. Okay, life's a bumpy road. Practice getting right back up and staying motivated and getting right back to your goals, right back to your habits. If you fall off a day or so, get right back on it. Keep moving. And also, don't make a list of 45 things you think you're going to do. Overwhelm yourself with all this stuff that you're going to fail at. Because nobody can change everything at once. The key to success is to pick a couple of things and then do those. And sometimes just picking one thing and doing that gives you a strength and a power to do the next thing. On my list, I have several courses I'm going to create. I'm not creating all of them at one time, one at a time. And with each accomplishment, if I look at HWC now, we have 5 courses. We started with 1. We've added 4 more. So there's the main course. There's the parent course. Maybe there's only 4. There's the Get a Agent course. There's a Get a Commercial Agent course. And then we're going to have the advanced course and the financial course. So by the end of the year, we should have, what is that, 6 courses? Right now, there's 4. We started with 1. We started with none. Whatever it is you want to achieve in your life, you're going to start from scratch. Don't be ashamed of that. Everybody starts from scratch. Have grace for yourself and give yourself a big hug. If you're on this journey, you are following dreams that other people have let die. You are believing in yourself enough to take action. You are strong, you are powerful, and you are loved. And I love you. I want you to be successful. When I do these kind of talks, I don't look at the people posting. In fact, I put a whole nother screen over the camera so I can't even see myself. Because it's not about me. I'm going to look at the comments for a minute, and I'm just going to see what's going on. I don't give a schlap. Yeah. You have an idea for a plan too, Jake? Text me. Yes. Hey, everybody. It's good to see you. Burn that word perpetuity, right, Jason? Sean told this to us during the after party. Know your worth. Yes. Yeah, they make millions off your silly $2,000. They surely do. You know, I'm happy to see all of you guys here. I hope that you have a wonderful holiday. Go out there and, you know, do great things. Believe in yourself. Don't let anybody talk you out of the goals that you have. I hope that you're following me on Instagram and YouTube, and here you catch my lives. And if you want to work with me, you come to HWC. And if you just want to be a part of my world, I have free blogs and books, and just stay close to me because I will always encourage you to be your best self. And I will always see the full potential that you have. And I know you're capable of great things because you were shaped that way. So I'll leave you with this. I love you. I expect the best from you. Have a great holiday. Don't feel bad if you stay home. Don't drink and drive. Auntie Mommy says don't drink and drive. Okay. I love you guys. Mwah! See you in 2023. A couple hours from now. Love you.